massive, okay? The body is filled with billions of bacteria. Now, in your intestines, there's probably around 1.5 to just over 2 kilos worth of bacteria. That's not weight we want to lose to improve performance. That's not going to work. Every single person is different with their makeup of bacteria. That's what makes gut health such a tricky subject, and actually it's why I geek out on it so much. Things like your diet that you follow, the diets you've followed, the diets that your parents followed, what your mum ate when she was pregnant with you. All these things are going to be things that affect your gut bacteria makeup, your genetics, and even your daily routine. You see why it's such a minefield when we start opening it up? Because there's so many things that can affect your gut health. The things that you've done in childhood can affect your adulthood. Whether you were born via C-section, whether you were born naturally. Just your exposure to certain bacteria. All this is going to make a lot of difference. And the more we can trace back certain illnesses, for example, a lot of people when they go to places like Egypt and stuff like that get really, really bad stomach upsets. That could lead to a parasite in the stomach, which is going to affect your gut health. And there needs to be certain processes in order to fix your stomach, to fix your gut. These aren't necessarily really in-depth processes, but they do take time. They're not something that happens overnight, especially if that bacteria has been imbalanced for quite a while. Other things, such as stress, the amount of stress we have in our lives, both physical and psychological. We live in such a stressful world, if you perceive it that way. That is going to affect your gut health. As we said before, your diet and your hygiene levels. The hygiene of the things you interact with every single day. That again affects your gut health. The problem with stress, if we want to touch on that little thing there, or big thing. Stress is something where, because of the society we live in, you've had a hard day at work. I'm going to go and take it out in the gym. The trouble is, we get psychological stress up here and we fight it with physiological stress from doing exercise, jumping on the turbo, going for a sprint session, doing repeats and hill repeats and all that sort of stuff. That's not necessarily the good thing. You're fighting fire with fire there. All these things and the issues of the gut can lead to stuff like chronic inflammation, autoimmune diseases, things like arthritis, endometriosis, even stuff like cancer has been linked with gut health, asthma, intolerances is a big thing, and allergies. I am one of these people that I do believe the gluten intolerance has gone a bit through the roof and a massive crazy certain marketing gimmick as such. Just because something is gluten-free doesn't necessarily mean it is healthy, quote unquote. Now, personally, with myself, I was diagnosed as a celiac, so I couldn't have gluten or wheat. 2013, 2015, had the blood test again, totally clear. That was through fixing your gut health. Now, a lot of doctors don't believe that's possible. Yes, it is, okay? That is totally possible. I personally believe every single cell in the human body can be regenerated to a degree. Now, you guys are going to be exercising a lot. So, we get exercise. That produces a lot of free radicals. So these free radicals are floating around the bloodstream, floating around in the gut and everything like that. Now we need antioxidants to sort of mask those free radicals, break them down and sort them out. Good gut health is needed in order to do that process, to actually have that process happen in our body. Another thing, when we see the amount of depression that happens in this country, day in, day out, we see it everywhere. Okay, people will blame social media for that. That's a whole other story in itself. I can get into that one day. But depression, your gut health is one of the biggest reasons, or is one of the biggest reasons that people are depressed. Around sort of 90 to 95% of the serotonin, the feel-good hormone, is produced in your gut, in your digestive tract. Essentially, your gut is your second brain. Now that serotonin has to get from your stomach from your gut and everywhere, right up to your brain, in order for it to do its job, to make you feel good, to send these signals and make you feel bulletproof, unbeatable. The trouble is, if you've actually got bad gut health, it's not going to happen. It needs to get to the brain. All this inflammation that's happening in the gut, then it's not going to get there. There are certain things that you can do in order to help fix the gut. However, chucking them all in at once is not necessarily going to be the best thing to do. So everyone being different, it's hard to put it in a video exactly the order to put things in, but things like glutamine is going to help with gut lining and regeneration, and help also with the stomach and getting the nutrients out of the stomach via osmosis. Apple cider vinegar is a good one. Chucking a little bit on your food just helps your body with processing, and other things like aloe vera, although I wouldn't have it in for too long. It helps repair with the vitamins in there, helps with like the healing process of the gut and the digestive tract. Psyllium husk. Now, this is one which people put in there just thinking, oh, that's in one of these Men's Health, these Try 220 Try, one of the Runner's World like nutrition articles. Now, the only reason I would put that in there is if a client is struggling to get fibre in their diet. If they're struggling to get fibre in their diet, that is going to be good to put in there. Having 3 servings is going to be 18, 20, 25 grams of fibre. The recommended amount keeps changing every single day, but for a grown guy, around 25 to 30 grams of fibre per day is a recommended amount. Now, things you can also put in there, like with prebiotics in there, are really good. Foods such as kefir, sauerkraut, kimchi, fermented foods. Now, first off, they're going to be really, really acquired taste, shall we say, but they do their job and they do help you very, very well. Another one is like flaxseed tea, that sort of stuff. And the last one I'll put in there is, once you've sorted all this sort of stuff, you've done the repairing, the healing stage and all this sort of stuff, there are tests you can do to see what's happening. They are a bit expensive, MRT tests and certain intolerance tests, but I do recommend them, because although I say they're expensive, when you think of it, if they're £500 for a test, for example, but you're going to have 40, 50 years, 60 years of feeling good, that's absolutely nothing, okay? It's less than £10 a year. The last thing is the probiotics. Now, probiotics is a big thing where you are getting some brands now where they don't have to be kept in the fridge. I do like to go to specialist suppliers to get probiotics, keep them in the fridge, because essentially they are a live culture. So getting them in there, get a decent probiotic in, and you don't really want to rely on the probiotic, but having it in there to help you get to the point where you can then take it out is a good way of looking at it. You don't want to mask the problem, you want to fix it. Finally, nobody that I've seen has helped and actually fixed their gut 100% just by diet and supplements. Mindset is key. I cannot emphasize that enough. Mindset, how you deal and perceive stress and stressful situations, will help you a hell of a lot when it comes to gut health. This is something I go over with my clients a lot. So if it's what you want to be looking at, talking about, getting a little bit deeper in there, fixing your gut, because essentially if your gut is fixed, your performance is going to skyrocket. We can get talking about some one-to-one coaching, so just drop me a message and we'll go from there.